G'day guys, welcome back to WA Now and Then. We are off on our last trip for 2022. We've managed to squeeze in 4 trips of varying lengths in the what I consider the camping season, which sort of goes from spring to early summer. And we're off down to, guess where? Where do we usually go this time of year, just before Christmas? Yeah, anybody who's been on the channel for a while is going to know it's Margaret River. Wonderful place to go just before Christmas, no crowds, beautiful weather usually. We cross our fingers for that one these days because you can't rely on it anymore. But with a bit of luck, we'll have some nice weather. We're heading down for 8 nights and initially starting off at Olive Hill Farm, where we've been once before. We're just going in there for a couple of nights because that's the weekend, and we know that the next place we want to go is going to be not so good on a weekend, which is Alexandra Bridge. Dorothy's been hanging out to get there for a long time. She's been there and just visited it for the day, but she hasn't camped there, so this time we're going to go down and see if we can get a nice camping spot, maybe stay there a couple of nights. As for the other 4 nights, not really sure at this stage. We're just going to sort of suck it and see. No bookings beyond Olive Hill Farm for Saturday and Sunday night at the moment, so we'll let you know where we are when we get there, because we won't know ourselves till we get there. So hopefully it'll be some nice weather and we'll get something with. This is not a really big filming trip, this is our sort of annual holiday. Although we have done a lot of filming down there in the past, this is sort of becoming a yearly tradition of trying to get down to Margaret River area and just enjoy it, because it's just so beautiful down there. So much to do, so much to see, and anything new we can dig up, we'll try and film it for you. So right along with us, see what we get up to. Here we go, guys. Well, we're on the first full day of the trip. We left home yesterday, came down to Olive Hill, which is where we're staying at the moment. Really nice little campsite that we've stayed at once before. It was all the way back in 2019, and things have changed a little bit since then. If you want a link to the old video, I'll whack that in the description below, and you can go and have a look at what things were like back then. But unfortunately, due to COVID, a few things have changed here. They no longer have the little trailer that comes out and sells the small goods and does tastings of food and things like that. So they've stopped doing that for now. And also the little sort of social get-togethers in the shelter over behind me in that direction. Again, because of COVID, not happening. Obviously, as a business, they can't take the risks. But still, really nice little place to stay. The sites are well spaced out, you're not right on top of each other. Quite a few sites here. They do have a bus that you can rent now from the shots we've seen online, and I'll pinch a couple of those and stick them in the video so while I'm talking, so you can have a look and see what it's like. You can come out and stay in that. So there's another option now for staying out here if you don't have your own vehicle. Of course, this has always been a self-contained place. You've got to have your own shower, your own toilet. You're about 10 minutes drive from Margaret River, and really this is at the heart of everything here. Quaramup's just north of us, Witchcliff south, and Margaret River to the west, so it's a really good little place to stay. We're not really sure what we're doing on this trip. It's more or less we're following our nose and just having a wander around. Yesterday we went just for a drive around to see what we could find. Ended up at Rosa Glen, I think it is. I don't think it's Rosa Brook, I think it's Rosa Glen, the little store there. We've always driven past that and never stopped in to have a look at it. So finally we got round to going in and having a look at the little store. Great little place to go and visit. I'd really recommend you go in and have a look if you're passing. It's the quick way to Margaret River if you come down the back roads and come down the Nannup Road to Margaret River. It's better than coming right down through all the traffic on the main bustle highway, so you can cut through the back and go through the bush, and not anywhere near as much traffic going that way as there is down the main road through Cowarumup. But yeah, Rosa Glen, good little store, some really interesting memorabilia scattered around it. We picked up some jerky and some chocolate there just to sort of support the place. We like to spend money in little places like that when we're out doing these trips. Today we're not really sure what we're going to do. We're going to take a walk down to the river. Unfortunately, it looks like they must have had a fire or something through here. A lot of the trees that were on the woodland walk are now gone, so that won't look quite as pretty as it used to. But we'll take a wander down to the river, see what that's like, and after that we'll just head out and follow our noses again. Plan A at the moment is tomorrow, which is Monday. We're going to head down to Alexandra Bridge and we'll stay there a couple of nights. After that, we don't know. So follow us along and find out what we get up to. Cheers, guys. We're now on day 3 of this little trip down to Margaret River, and Dorothy's been on at me for a long time to come and camp down at Alexandra Bridge, and we finally got here. Drove in this morning after going to Margaret River, getting rid of the black waste and fueling up. Now, I was going to put some water in at Margaret River as well, but we couldn't find the water fill point. There's a lot of construction work going on where that is supposed to be, so what's happened to it, whether it's coming back or whether we just missed it, I'm not sure. But there is water here, drinking water, at Alexandra Bridge, so it's not a big deal. Flush toilets, boat ramp, barbecue, shelters, seats. So it's a pretty good little campsite. It's $10 per head per night. A reasonably good value too, considering the facilities you get. Although I would still probably avoid this place at peak times and even on weekends, as it can get a bit rowdy, and at least that is our experience in the past. There are 21 campsites here. You used to, quite some years ago, be able to park nearer the river, but they cut that area off. It's now reduced and the campers are a little bit further away from the river, but it's only a very short walk down to the day use area here. This is a very pleasant little spot. You can swim, you can fish, you can go boating, kayaking. Plenty of birds around, so you can bird watching. There's a few short little bushwalks around as well. So overall, pretty decent little spot to come and relax for a few days. Lovely little stretch of river down here. People come down fishing for bream. And you can motor all the way down to Augusta from here if you have the fuel. Bit of a long trip down. We actually have done it in the tinny once before, accidentally. We thought we were heading the right way. We weren't. We were heading the wrong way, and we ended up pretty much down at the sticks. Anybody who knows the estuary will know where the sticks are. There's a couple of different parking areas in the day use area. The one you're looking at now is for boats and boat trailers. And over to my right, and just over that rise there, is a parking area for cars. So this is our stop for tonight. This is Glenbrae Gardens. There's quite a lot of room, as you can see, for motorhomes to park up here. You have to be self-contained. And on the right of me here, just up the hill a little bit, is the garden itself. And we're just going to have a little wander around and see all the pretty plants that are in there. It's very, very pretty looking. So we'll check that out, see what flowers and birds we can see. Of course, the flowers are going to mostly be exotics, I would imagine. But the birds will be native. One thing you will need to bring with you if you stay at Glenbrae in a motorhome or self-contained caravan is a set of levelling blocks. You can see we're on a bit of an angle there, even though I've got a couple of blocks under the back wheels. So that's an important requirement, because the whole site here is on a bit of a slope heading down to the bottom of the valley there.